I always forget if it shows up on the replay of the live broadcast or not because I'm going to end this before anybody joins. Um, Not that people do, but if you go for 12 hours, sometimes they do. Yeah, but nice little message that my internet is not sufficient for gameplay recording. You know, don't fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck. My internet's perfectly fine. You suck much more than I do. Um, and also, yeah, you know what? Honestly, just not a good day so far. Not a good start to the day. Um, you know, Still before noon East Coast time. Not so much stuff with this game. In almost a couple, well, I don't know, probably at least 20. Hey, somebody is here. Probably at least 24 hours. Haven't been in there. More just other stuff. And a comment. You should try out for tonight. Uh, oh, try out Fortnite. It was weird the way. I know, man. I'll do it eventually. Hey, so you're here. You get to see the thing that I'm pointing out here. Wasn't I was just saying it wasn't a good day. Wasn't a good start to my day. Got off to a bad start, bad mood. Everything else, just fucking annoyed. Yeah, I think as you know, I do this whole gold rare reroll thing pretty much at least daily, if not say I don't know up to 3 times daily, and drop live broadcasts on every single one of them, just so people can see that I'm not editing this stuff. I don't think there's like a way to fake having an untradeable card, but if there is, whatever, I don't do it. I do it live. However, having some issues set as opposed to both of them. Uh, as you see, I don't have any coins right now. I got to work on that, but this could help. And then couldn't even do bronze because for some reason those things are worth fucking 800 a piece plus minimum, which is asinine. I'm a raid you, okay? Um, if you mean my team, dude, I'd always get confused because there's 3 Darths. I don't know if you're all the same Darth, but there's 3 Darths that comment on this channel. So I don't know. Being in the mood that I'm in right now, I can't remember the difference between each of you, and that's my bad. I'm sorry, but here's the thing: I went and started this broadcast after I did the poll, because if you look at the last, I don't know, like 48 hours, if not 72 fucking hours of live broadcasts of gold rare polls. I don't know if I jinxed myself. I don't know. It was after I'm a YouTube raid you. Um, okay. I don't I don't know if I even know what that means, but I'm gonna try to keep this quick. Um, so I don't know if it was that I basically jinxed myself because I pulled the 87 overall sure base alumni Conacher and was super stoked. It was the highest overall rated uh, base, well, highest overall card that I'd ever pulled from the gold rare pulls. Um, Now, spoiler alert, you already see it there, and I've already done this, so you already know that it's both non-tradable and the duplicate. I'm keeping it on this particular screen so that I can kind of do my best to prove that this is how I got this card. But now this basically ties for second. So pretty stoked. It's actually at least slightly what was a shitty mood for me today. Maybe I will actually jump into Red Dead Redemption, fucking people and animals and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, so this is a duplicate. But the thing is, and I can maybe at the very end go back out to my collection and show this. This was not an untradeable duplicate. It is an untradeable and a duplicate, but it's not both. It's not a duplicate untrade. I don't know how to properly say that. Anyways, the fucking point is the card that I had that was a base OV was not untradeable, and therefore he was not technically allowed to play on my team. But I mean, what the fuck, man? You got a base OV. You gotta play some knockoff games that aren't part of the true hut progress or whatever, just to kind of see how the card is, because every other person has it, and at this point has basically moved on to the point of having their team be so good that this card doesn't even make their squad, whether they have an upgraded version, which is just only right now the prime time. There's no other upgrade Ovi, as I went into at length on the last broadcast that went more than 5 minutes yesterday at night, otherwise known as last night to some people. But anyway, I had the base Ovi. I played with it a couple times, and like really wanted him on the team, and had been basically like begging for this card since the beginning of the series. Back when this card was actually worth something. Was also begging for Crosby and McDavid. Did actually pull base Crosby from an Evo pack back in I guess that was October. Early October. That's recorded. That should be on the channel. I should go back at some point and actually not only just edit this stuff into actually interesting and worthwhile watching stuff. Hundreds of videos. I have no fucking idea. If I could change the title or maybe adjust the description to indicate hey, good stuff in here. Check it out. Pull base Crosby. From an Evo pack, which is not the hardest thing in the world, but I was stoked at the time because I was joking about not getting stuff and also joking about getting a card like this or a card like that. Now, anyways, base Crosby has since left the team because that's how this works. You gotta get rid of cards that are tradable, no matter how good they are. Getting rid of the base Yari Curry pained me. Getting rid of the master set player upgrade Halloween Dustin Byfuglien is still a very sort. Hey, and you're gone. Cool, Darth. Thanks for joining, man. I really was that boring? It was that bad, dude? Really? You're I'm a YouTube raid me. I'm a YouTube call you out, man. What the fuck? Why are you gone? I don't understand. You got shit to do? Couldn't say peace out? You're one of, 12, 13, 14 subscribers to this channel? These things get 4 or 5 views. I said I was keeping it short. It was going to be less than 10 minutes. Whatever. One person who I don't actually know has a fake name. Shouldn't let it bother me, but again, not in a good mood today. So here's the thing. Only had the one set, didn't have both, and pulls had been basically garbage since getting the Conacher, and talking about, joking about how juiced they were, these particular sets. But I have over the full term of the game, doing a ton of these, not enough to get the full the milestone, but I am close, very very close. I have a good, in my opinion, I have a good team when it comes to. I mean, you see right there it says overall 90, but I was doing something different. There's an event where you have to be 90 plus to play the game, and I was trying to set my team up to do that, and then I traded untradeable cards team. Now, especially now with this, I don't know, probably not a 90, because I mean there's a legend Denieko in there, which I'll say for the 17th time. If you want the card, let me know. I'm probably just gonna put it on the market right now for whatever the current lowest value is, because I'm kind of getting sick. And it's not meant as an offense to anybody. It's not like I'm like literally actually pissed at any individual people or communities that I'm in or whatever, but I've been pointing out the fact that card is basically available for any price, for I don't know however long I've had it, like a week or so. I think I did maybe put it on the market once, but maybe didn't put it on long enough, or it was on odd hours or something. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I know there's interest in it. I know other people buy it. So the fact that I'm always going to be selling it for less, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I got crazy. Maybe I just tried tried to sell it like sort of middle of the pack and try to get an extra, whatever it is, 40, 50K out of it or something. Maybe I did that. I usually tend not to. This year, this base Ovi, this being sold. Now, the fact that this card is basically a 60K card now, and it kind of seemed like it was going to bottom out at 80, 85K, and beginning of the game, you could have gotten 300K out of it, is fucking annoying. It really is. That was part of the reason why I was holding on to it. It's not as if I expected the market to kind of correct itself and for, the second highest overall base current player card to be, somehow increasing in value as time goes on, and more and better cards get added to the market, therefore devaluing the current cards that are there across the board, as well as sometimes significantly those like these on the top. Um, but I just was like, I tried to sell it for less than what it was selling for, um, but I don't think put it up for very long. I think there was probably a part of me that really didn't really want to actually sell the card. So I might not even have given it too much of a discount compared to how I normally do, where I just grossly undercut the market to ensure that it'll be sold. But now I'll do that, and you know what? Fuck it, man. If this card is really 60K or even less now, and I got to sell this thing for 50K, I mean, whatever. It's 50K, but that's like that's 50 games that can be played in X amount of time for 1,000 coins a piece. Um, or if you want to get really weird, that's 250 times that you watch the Honda commercials in the game. Oh, jeez. Yeah, 250 commercials at whatever that rate is. I think it's at least two per day, if not four per day. I'm not on often enough to know. So yeah, I guess that would probably take some time if it was two per day. That's like um, then you're talking about 4+ months. So yeah, maybe not a good strat to say, okay, well, I'll get a base Ovi through the process of watching 2 Honda commercials per day. It'll take 4 months. At which point this card will be selling on the market for 4,500. Point is, stoked. Hard to tell now because it's very difficult to. I don't have that kind of mood swings, so it's tough to go from as thoroughly annoyed and disappointed by a variety of shit that was going on as I woke up today, to wanting to do the normal thing that I do of just putting this stuff on broadcast and being hamstrung on gold commons for whatever reason. I have no idea why. And then it was like, all right, fuck it. So I did the gold rare reroll. So this card here, in case you don't know the game, or if you do have the game and you don't bother doing the reroll sets, this was I know the one. I'm trying to think of what the second one was. So yeah, I believe the second one was, if I'm not mistaken, yes, it was an 80 overall base, obviously. Well, I guess it's not obvious, but an 80 overall base, untradeable card that I felt like wasn't really gonna see as much time on the team as necessary. I actually forget the player's name that the card is on, and I kind of feel a little bit bad about that because I don't I disrespect a ton of players throughout this series, and I disrespect their cards even more. Um, but in this particular case, the one card that I did put in here, I have no real qualms about. For being an 80 overall, that's going into a reroll with another card that has to be 80 plus, generally speaking, um, in order to get a random card that all you know is 80 plus. So it could be, you could trade two 80s and get another 80. Now, technically, you can trade the 99 Gretzky and the 99 Lemieux and get uh, an 80 untradeable. Uh, who's like the worst 80 overall? I don't know. Can you really even say that 180 is worse than another? I would say so, but I don't have a ton of 80s left at this point, so it was an 80 tradable card that I dropped in here, and I forget his name. I can kind of picture him. It's like Coil or something like that, and I could easily figure it out. I would guess because the part of the reason why I was somewhat hesitant to put it in there, and it got put in by doing the autofill, and I do that, and then I tend to look at it and see if I'm okay with getting rid of whatever the computer fill wants me to get rid of. Um, and he's a center who has defensive warrior synergy, and it wasn't like he was a I don't know if I don't know what type of um, um, player style that a center could have that would make sense from a defensive standpoint. Um, like I guess two-way forward could be one. Um, there's I don't think there's such a thing as even like a defensive forward. Maybe there is, but there's like maybe if there is, there's so few people that actually have that I've completely forgot that it's a part of the game. I mean, I know you can be an enforcer even as a center, but that's supposed to mean that you can like fight and shit and potentially be okay in terms of checking. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually good at defending. Um, but either way, that particular player, especially for an 80 overall, was pretty high in defensive awareness and came with the defensive warrior synergy, which the thing is, it just happens to be that my current setup on my team, whether I was a fan of defensive warrior synergy or not, and I wasn't very early on when given the choice of whom to get rid of, a synergy such as defensive warrior was like not necessarily the number one or top of the list or whatever, but it was absolutely a synergy that I got rid of way more frequently than I did even this, like Beast or Burner or I don't know, maybe even Bruiser, and stuff like that I don't necessarily have as much favor for right now. I still kind of like Beast, to be honest. Um, and I'm not as much of a synergy fanboy as I was at the beginning of playing this game. I guess I'm coming around a little bit more towards what most of the um, uh, longtime players of the game have always kind of said about this stuff that I'm understanding more now of, I guess. But either way, like point is like if I just do autofill on my team and then also ensure that it's just untradeable cards, I don't know how many you need for defensive warrior. For some reason, off the top of my head, I'm thinking it's 6. Whereas like some you only need 3 or 4. And so I don't know, it could be 5. And so 5 is not that many more than 4. It's 25% more though. But I think it's 6. And I think the deal is like if I just do the autofill, I was getting 5 out of 6. And now as I say that, I'm pretty sure that includes the legend Denieko. So I mean, he's got to go away. He's no longer an untradeable card. I used untradeable cards to create the legend, but now the legend is tradable, so I got to sell him. So he's gonna be on the market by the time you start watching this, let alone get to this point, if anybody bothers to watch this at all. And he's gonna be less than anybody else is selling him for. So I don't know what that means off the top of my head, but I would suspect that it's 100K. So uh, if you want that card, and I would very much recommend it, he's a fantastic player to have. It's going to be very cheap on the PlayStation side of things very, very shortly. As well as this card. If you like Ovi, I mean, what the fuck, man? Apparently I'm selling this for 50K in the next like 5 minutes, assuming I end this broadcast by then. But all I was saying is that I had a center who had defensive warrior synergy, and part of me thought, well, I'm obviously not going to put him in as a center. He's got shit for faceoffs, and I've already got four really good centers, actually more than four really good centers that have good faceoffs, despite the game when you do autofill wanting me to put my primetime Kuznetsov on the second line as center, of which I change whenever I actually give a shit about the game because he's more or less shit at faceoffs. Um, so yeah. Um, so point being, that guy that I just got rid of for this reroll, he was never going to play as a center, like never. I guess in a weird game, he could maybe be on the fourth line if I knew that it was only like a 2 minute period game, and that he mostly wasn't going to see time. But I get concerned when players other than my untradeable base Howard Chuck uh, end up having that are not that are did I say this already, that are not centers, or even maybe are centers but aren't playing, are playing on the wings. When any of them have to take a face off, because I'm fucking around and I've taken like 7 straight penalties and all my true centers are gone, or just because the game sometimes weirdly puts people that should not be taking faceoffs into faceoffs, especially when you're at least down one man. Um, and so, yeah, if it's not Howard Chuck, if it's, I don't know what a good example would be. I don't know. How about Ovi? Its base card's 57. You really want somebody with 57, and assuming that you don't have a team synergy to get you a +2 on that, and I don't even know off the top of my head what team synergies would do that. Would it be like for the boys or something? It's certainly not one that I've got activated. So he's going to be 57 overall. Ovi ain't winning that face-off, so I don't know why you're putting him in there for me when somebody like Howard Chuck is available, or anybody with decent face-offs and or the synergy as well. So yeah, so that guy was not going to be playing as a center, generally speaking, but could be added on as defensive warrior, and defensive stats were enough that, like, depending upon what I was working with my 6 defensemen, you could put him on the blue line, and mostly be okay with that, and then just have to deal with the fact that maybe all of his defensive stats are not perfect and could get caught out of position, regardless of whether you're controlling him or he's AI. But point being, I'm not shitting on the guy, even though I can't remember his name. It was a card that I was slightly considering keeping. Didn't realize I had some other stuff kind of tucked away in other spots that I should have pulled instead. But okay, I'm fine with it, because the other card that I put into here was a tradable David Krejci. And I gotta tell you, I think tradable, untradeable, whatever, you trade a Krejci and a guy that you can't remember that's an 80 overall center who's not very good at actually being a center or taking faceoffs or anything like that, and you get any form of Ovi in return, I think it's a good trade. I do. Taking 25 minutes to make the point, I guess. But yeah, this is the second highest overall, tied for the second highest overall rated card that I've gotten from these sets. Now that I've gotten multiple of those. Obviously, I mentioned the Dale Hawerchuk base alumni card that is tradable. Sorry, untradeable. So that's an 86 overall. I didn't mention in this one, but I tend to mention quite a bit. The team of the week, Bergie, that's 86. The primetime Kuznetsov would have been 87. So I guess tied Conacher as the top one. I don't know why I wasn't remembering that at the time that I made that video. But either way, you pull an 86 or an 87, I think you're pretty fucking stoked, in my opinion. Trying to think off the top of my head if I've got any other 86s from this. I should have, right? I'd have to go into the collection to see. So let's actually do that, and then let's end this in the next 4 minutes. So I just want to reiterate, can't really do it in any other fashion here, but this is, this is new items. You can see, they're issued today. And today hasn't been going on for very long. You'll see the timestamp, so you know this was in the morning on the 10th. Um, and you see that it's untradeable format. I mean, granted, it's also showing that it's a duplicate, and I will go over to the collection to show you that, in fact, it's a duplicate of a tradable card, which is, again, why that the tradable card is immediately going to go on the market. Um, and if you're only tuning in now, which wouldn't make any sense, if you don't understand why that is and why it's sold before finishing so that it doesn't give me any sort of credit towards my HUT progress, is that I only play with untradeable cards. Period. That's the point of this would-be channel that I've mostly neglected since RDR2 came out, and then now I'm just neglecting basically fucking everything, and don't really give a shit about this game anymore. And I've got 2,000 coins, and it's not as though I've got like a bid out with a bunch of coins. Like that's not the case. Like I legit have 2,000 coins. I, I, I might have one active bid, and it's probably for somebody who was fucking around and put somebody super valuable out for a start price of 50 coins in like a 3-day time frame, just knowing that it's going to eventually go for probably relatively close to true market value, assuming that things don't change dramatically in that 3 days, which in this game it sure as shit can, and usually not in your favor. But yeah, so yeah, I think I might have one active bid out again for 50 coins that will come back to me. The card is never going to go for 50. People are way too ravenous on stuff, and I don't blame them. That's how markets ought to work. Either way, stoked about this card. Stoked about the card. Super happy that he's going to be basically permanent fixture on the squad. Um, if I need synergies other than Beast and I'm not activating Beast, then yeah, he might get benched. It's not out of the question. And he could be getting benched by somebody who's less than 86 overall. That's just how it works. When you got to put specific squads out there with synergies or whatever. Let's go ahead and finally drop it into the collection. We got 1 minute left to finish this. Got no packs left. You see there, didn't complete all sets, which kind of sucked. A little disappointing. Kind of on that path right now. Pretty close to getting done with a lot of that. Yeah, no active bids. So I got no coins. Got no coins out there right now. So literally 2,000 coins. And I do have 4 things out for auction, but those are fake. So not going to get any coins out of those, unless somebody misclicks and gives me 10 million coins. And I won't be mad at you, but it would be a bit silly if you did that. So going into the collection, so real quick, I mean this is the true team here, right? What the fuck? Why? Oh, right. Wait, no, that's not how it works. What the fuck is going on? Oh, okay. I guess I did try to sell the Yobi. Must be in the inbox right now. This card here doesn't really count. Every other significant problems that I've had, I was right because Kuznetsov primetime is only 86. So Conacher was the best pull that I've ever had at 87. But there you see four 86s now that have been pulled. Apparently, you have to. Wait, does that mean is that healing? Hold on. I only played one online game. Did you really fuck my guy up? What happened here? Oh no, it's a pen. It's a contract. I was like, that's what I thought, but I play so little now that I forget which is which. 85s, a bunch. Looks like we got to extend Marchand's contract as well. Gretzky doesn't count. Comes with the game, but you see, page 1 is 14 cards, 14 items. two of which don't count at all in the sense that one is expired loan, and the other one came with the game. Now you can make the argument that both Nieuwendyk and Ferraro don't count either, because basically anybody that I said I was going to do this in 30 minutes. What is wrong with me? Basically anybody that plays the game, you know, like probably at least halftime. I don't know if quarter time would get it done, but probably at least even halftime, they've got both of these cards. So if it's a card that everybody has, then whatever. I don't know. Maybe you want to discount that as well. So even if you do that, that's the most you could do. You can't take away literally any of the other cards that are on this list. So again, looking at 14 total, you want to take away Gretzky, fine. Bufflin, obviously you take away because you can't actually play the card at this point, and I don't think that there's going to be something that's going to come around later that's going to let you extend it for another 2 days or whatever. So now we're down to 12. You want to take Nieuwendyk and Ferraro away? Fine, we're down to 10. On this screen alone, there are 10 players that are 85 plus overall, which makes it sound much better than it is. I mean, it's 85 to 87, with one being 87. So basically, it's 85s and 86s. But what did I say? Wasn't 12 of them? 10 of them? 10 of them? Yeah, I think 10. 10 here. 48. Yeah. Wait. Yep. 10 cards that are 85 and 86, and then 187 that are untradeable and can be on my team basically at all times. Now, when Kuznetsov is suddenly 88 and Bergeron suddenly 88, and obviously Ovi's already 88. Howard, Chuck, and Conacher though, I feel like are different, because I was under the kind of misguided impression that you could get untradeable versions of their tier 2 and tier 3 cards, but clearly not their legends, which looks like I put Danieko up as well, so he's over. That's interesting. He's over in the inbox as well, because he hasn't sold. Otherwise, I'd have more than 2,000 coins. All right, maybe he's still up. Maybe he's one of the 4 that's up right now, but I don't think so. Anyways, I'm going nuts here. The Conacher and Howard-Chuck, I feel fairly confident that even if I gave them their first upgrade, which I think is for every single alumni to legend upgrade process from tier 1 to tier 2, this the first upgrade, I believe it's just a +1 for all of them. So that would mean, I know for sure that's Howard-Chuck would be 87, and I got to imagine the Conacher goes to 88 and probably not 89. But then I think the issue is that you then end up having a tradable card. So suddenly I have this great card that I really love playing with, and I all I got to do is just add 18.25 carbon collectibles, and I can suddenly upgrade them from a massive difference of 86 to 87. I'm fucking with you, because yeah, you're bastards. But then it's a tradable card, and based off of my own rules that I set on this channel that no one that no one watches and no one gives a shit about, and that's fine. It actually makes it easier to do some stuff that I've done that I like to do. Those are the restrictions that I set upon myself, and I'm my own worst critic. Then I'm the person that kind of holds my own feet to the fire more often than anything else. So yeah, if I ever do get to a point where I'm looking to upgrade these cards, honestly, they would have to be in a way in which I've either gotten a duplicate of their base untradeable, and therefore don't have or like a need to maintain these 2 cards on the team to keep them playing, I suppose, or some weird scenario in which I've got so many cards that are not just above 86 but above 87 in untradeable format that I'm like, fuck it, I don't need them on the team anymore. Neither one of those things seem very likely. The first or former seems more likely than the second, where I'm looking to make them into legends, and then that would be more likely if I gave up on the game completely, even more so than I already have, because I've pretty much quit gameplay at this point. I'm not even doing my dailies anymore. Um, and So I'd have to quit like even more, um, which would seem strange. Or I guess more likely is I'd give up on this whole they have to be untradeable thing, and like be willing to play with ones that aren't. And I'll show you out of these 60. Well, these 64 are all untradeable, so there's going to be probably less than 30 that are tradable and in the collection right now. And I'll show that in a second. Apparently, we're going 40 minutes. What the fuck, man? It's one card. It's so crazy. But I'm talking about other stuff than just the OB here. Um, so yeah, if I wanted to turn them into legends, then sure. Then that card would go away. That's really fucking expensive. However you define that. And also it means that if I'm keeping this current format, that I can no longer play with those cards. I'm still gonna play with them in a game or two. What the fuck, man? I'm not gonna have a base. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna have a legend, Conacher or Howard Chuck and not see what the card is like before I get rid of it. That is just like never happening. What I would prefer though is to have the miraculous rare reroll pull happen again on these, and that is increasingly unlikely because the milestone is almost done. And when the milestone is done, and I have the 94 overall legend Joe Sakic, and I can't get any other cards, whether tradable or not, from the process of completing sets, other than, I suppose, the fact that it is one of the daily objectives and I haven't completed the milestones for objectives yet. That's a bit of a stretch, but I don't know. Fuck it. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do one after, because honestly, the Sakic thing is happening in the next few days. So after that, I don't know. Maybe I opt to do just one rare reroll per day when you know as part of the daily to increase the objectives. But then I'd honestly I'd have to look at the milestone for objectives and see how close I am to completion on that, and I can't be that close. So that would seem strange. And then I'd have to do the math of how many days it would take me to complete the objectives milestone by by just adding one per day from simply doing the gold rare rerolls, and then again only once per day as opposed to up to 6 per day, managing to pull another one or both of those cards. All seems extremely unlikely, but if that happens, then fuck it. Then there's no problem putting them into a legend upgrade process, of which I clearly don't have the coins or ability to do. But there is first page. Here's second page. Not much of a drop off on 85s, it would seem, but that's a little bit thrown off by the fact that there are a bunch of loan cards in there. However, I'm not pulling the loans off because the thing is, these are all untradeable cards, so these are available on the team. Now, why is he? Hold on a second. Oh, because he's not. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Oh, there he is. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. That's a tradable card? Alright, I'm not doing any more sets. If anybody wants any of the Division 6 alumni, let me know. I guess I'm selling the card. What the fuck, man? That's so goddamn annoying. I mean, I know that that's what everyone else wants other than me, but that sucks. So I have this, but it's a loan card, and I got 2 games left on it. And yeah, eventually you get a 92 overall Chelios, but that's in fucking January. So I was pretty happy, which it's not on that screen because it's not untradeable. I was pretty happy to get the whatever that the 86. It's only one higher than this, but it's a loan. This goes away after 5 games. That one you can play forever. And I guess he's part of this team. Maybe that's what happened. Is I was checking to see if he'd make the squad, as well as when I picked up both the Moog and the Gardner. I think happened relatively recently as well. So checking to see if they made the squad too. And like you'll notice, guys like Messier don't make the team anymore. And that's why I was saying I got more than 4 centers who are good at faceoffs. He's already got a base of 86, and when faceoff master synergy is activated, that goes up to 88. In my opinion, that's a pretty good faceoff statistic, especially for a guy who, at this point, if he ever made the team, was basically going to be on the 4th line. So it is what it is. God, so annoyed by that Chelios thing. I must have seen that and then like forgot about it. Ghosts, I don't think sold yet. Have that in both formats. Could have sworn I had both of these cards in both formats too, but I guess not. So anyway, moving on to page 2. So we said we're going with 10 for now. We're going to take Messier out of this. If you want, okay, let's exclude all of the loan cards as well. So let's make this easier. Even though I just wanted to show, like, I can play with loan cards on my team. They're by definition untradeable cards. So now we're looking at, not much of a change on this first page other than adding in, actually, I think a bunch of changes to this first page. The game is weird. I feel like whoever the top rated overall on his particular rating is, whether it's 86 or 85, that's all we see on this screen, I feel like they should always be considered the top rated overall for that rating. And when you do stuff like this, they should always be on top. The fact that it's switching the lineup around based off of what we're doing here, because I don't remember seeing these 3 on that first page, and I feel like if I go back to any, okay, they are there. Okay, well, so I'm just crazy at this point, I guess. I was pointing out Marchand, I remember doing that, but I don't know. I guess I didn't. I guess I kind of included Claude, Gabe, and Kopi in that, and then didn't feel the need to mention any of them explicitly. So let's go back to no loan. So you want me to exclude loan? No, there's no way for me to like factor out Nieuwendyk and Ferraro, I guess, unless I say like, no, I can't, because I can't say like, you should be able to, but I can't say like non-legend. I can say base, but then I lose the Halloween, I lose the team of the week, I lose the alumni. It's fine if I lose that because we're not going to want to include that. I lose a prime time. Yeah, and that's all I have off the top of my head. So we're going to get rid of Nieuwendyk and Ferraro from consideration. We're going to get rid of Gretzky from consideration. So then on this page, out of 14, we're getting rid of 3. So there's 11 there, all 85 plus. We're going to get rid of Messier from consideration on this one. And that's it. So, by the way, Brent Burns, 84 overall. Happy to have him on the squad. Would prefer 88. Pasternak, 84. Happy to have him on the squad. Plays a bunch. Would prefer the 86. I guess kind of the same thing on Patrick Kane. And fuck it on Rene as well. Pretty much on everybody here. There's the primetime Letang. Don't know if I pointed that out before. But into the second page, we're including all but Messier. So we're going to add another 13 on top of that. And we took 3 out of here, right, out of 14. So we were at 11. And now we're adding 13. So that's 24. 24 out of the 45 are, well, I want to say 84 plus, but apparently we're going with a base Gabe Landeskog, which is going to find his way into a reroll at some point, having the higher overall base card already in an untradeable format. But either way, 23, I think I said, out of 45. What is, okay. So now on to page 3. Almost kept the full list at 83 plus. We're dropping down to 82 at this point. I feel these all count. So mostly 83s here. A couple special cards, basically just a couple team of the weeks. And a base special edition alumni card as well. But dropping down all the way to 82 on this screen, all these count. So we're going to go ahead and add another 14 to that list. It bumps us up to 36 out of 45 now are 82 plus untradeable cards. And that's where we end. We have nothing under 82 currently in the list, and all three of these count as well. So what did I? Oh, now I fucking forget what the number was. I think I said 36. If not, let's just say it's 36. Add another 3, so 39 out of 45 items listed here, which suggests that we got rid of 6. Which 6 did we get rid of? We got rid of Messier, so that's 1. We got rid of Gretzky, that's 2. Ferraro and Nieuwendyk, that's 3 and 4. Which suggests I can't count. Do we get rid of anybody else? Or it says 45, right? Am I totally off here? What's going on here? Anybody else getting excluded? No? Okay. Well, we excluded 4 cards, so it should be 41. Am I going to force myself to count this again? Am I doing this wrong, too? 4, 8, 12, 14, right? Yeah. Okay. So 14, moving 3, 11. 14, moving 1, that's 13, plus 11, 24. Plus a full 14, that's 38. Plus 3 more. There you go. It's 41. Helps to do math correctly. So we got 41 cards that you can't discount. You know, it didn't come with the game like Gretzky and Messier did. It didn't basically come just from standard gameplay like Nieuwendyk and Ferraro did. 41 out of these 45 are 82 plus. Every single one of these has come from the rare rerolls. Now, I don't want to. First of all, you notice that there's 3 on the end and 1 here, 82. So only 4 out of those 41 are 82. Well, sorry, no, that's way off. For some reason, Rorensky threw me off thinking that it was an 83, and I just assumed everyone above that was. I actually got 4 there and 3 there. So fuck that. So that's 7. So 7 out of 41. So that really hurts the numbers, but that drops it down to 30. Geez, pardon me. I got like 7 screens that are getting my attention right now, and they don't need to be. What is that? 35? I don't even know. 34? 34 is fine with me. We got 34 cards that are 83 plus untradeable that have come from the rare rerolls. That in itself should seem, pretty impressive. The thing is, this base Landeskog duplicate has been put into a reroll. The Johnny Hockey is not currently a duplicate and doesn't have an upgrade in the untradeable sets here for me, but has been part of a reroll previously when that was a duplicate and untradeable. Tarasenko has as well. I mean, shit, man. And Giroux. I've gotten rid of 2 85 overall cards as part of the reroll process. So I don't want to. That's all I'm trying to say. And I think I need to basically get to the finale of this. Cannot make this an hour about 1 card. Yeah, for sure, hold more than 40 83 plus untradeable cards in the reroll process, including more 85s than you see here, including more 84s than you see here, and more 83s, just across the board. When I get another untradeable Giroux, Tarasenko, it doesn't matter what they are, Kopitar, doesn't matter who they are. If I get another base untradeable Ovi, I'm not going to be mad at it, but it's going to go into a reroll at some point, assuming I continue to do rerolls, and why wouldn't I? I know I said the whole thing about how I'm going to stop doing them as frequently, at least, because I've got the milestone done in the next 3 days. But, I still got to get rid of the card somehow, so whatever. I guess I will. There you go. I guess I answered my own question. I guess I will continue to do it until I'm like more satisfied with what my collection slash lineup is of untradeable cards. Because as I said, as you can see here, we got nothing under 82. There are some other ones that are out there, whether they're 80s or 81s, but they're gonna get put into the mix in the rerolls very soon. They're kind of next in line. So those ones will be gone, and they easily can get replaced by other 80s or even 81s, or you can pull a base OB. Um, so yeah, I guess I can't show you. Um, oh, there it is. That was correct. It's not in the it's not in the inbox. So there it is. Here's the card. It's tradable. Got it on the 5th of October. Did I really? No. Wow. If so, the last month plus has just gone by. I don't recall that. Did I buy this fucking card? What the fuck's wrong with me? I don't know. I don't know. That seems really strange. I don't recall having it that long. And you can see from there, I have not played it that many times. What the fuck? 10 games played. That's just not. 14 goals, 7. What is going on? Are there ghosts in the machine? I'm so confused. Um, I suppose there's a very unlikely chance that I have played this in 10 games. However, I was under the impression that. Oh, no, no, okay, that would make sense. Yeah, the gameplay stat would still count as a gameplay even when you don't complete the game. Here in this spot, obviously, others, whatever, it does. However, those stats are. I mean, he must have had a. I mean, what the fuck, man? He was a plus 29. Um, so in I guess up to 10 games, um, even potentially quitting, and I don't know, maybe not even having him on the front line. Those seem like pretty decent stats. 14 goals and 7 assists, which is 21 points, and a plus 29 with only 2 penalty minutes in say 10 games. Definitely hasn't been more than that. Um, so that's the card that you're going to see on the market. Um, yeah, I'd say done pretty well, considering that I don't recall. I guess I had it since October 5th, so I guess I have played it in a game or two where I was actually trying in competitive seasons or whatever. But I haven't fucking won anything in competitive seasons. One time I got into the second tier. You know, if it was like the bottom tier being 10,000 plus, and the tier above that was like 5,000 to 10,000. I got into that. I was like 9,980. Um, did that once. Every other time that I have actually completed and been able to get a rating, I got whatever the lowest was. So if there was something that you got from being the lowest, I got that. If it's qualifying for the next Hut Champions season, I did not get it because I did not qualify. I've never qualified for a Hut Champion season. And so these are not even Hut Champion season games. These are like just to see what could happen and giving me a chance to play with the card. I do kind of like apologize though, if anybody actually gets to this point in the video. I was unaware that I had done that 10 times. I do tend to game when basically sleepwalking, and or otherwise being like not let's just say 100% conscious or whatever. Um, so yeah, a base OV in this game would be an enticing thing for me in a less than aware state. Um, and so yeah, I could see playing with him, but I really doubt that I played this in any with this card in any sort of meaningful, strictly Hut type of game. Pretty good stats, I think, in my opinion. 14 goals, 21 points, plus 29. whether it was 10 games or less. Pretty solid. This is going on the market immediately. So is Legend Diego, which I'm still... There it is. Okay. So I just had the wrong filter on before, I guess, huh? I mean, look at that, man. Beast, Defensive Warrior. It's a trap, if you care about it. It's a trap. Fast as fuck. Good shots for a defensive defenseman. And then obviously defense is boss. 93 already. You add Defensive Warrior onto that. You add anything else that's going to add anything onto that. You're talking about at least a 95. It's hard to get higher. There's only 4 more spots higher than that. Some of the other ones, kind of middle of the road, like kind of mid 80s. Some even down to the low 80s. You'd maybe prefer to be slightly higher, but he's not a 99. He's not fucking Gretzky, man. It's a good card for being 88 overall. And in my opinion, it's a little bit tougher to. See, there you go. I only played 2 games with him. And he got 2 assists. He was a +6. Also, apparently only got it on November 3rd. But yeah, I had to kind of try him out a little bit, so that when I make the statement to you right now, which is that he is absolutely worth, for sure, at least whatever the minimum is that's currently out there in the marketplace, and within a couple of minutes, unless there's something weird that has happened, and it seems like there has been some weird stuff that's happened in this hour that I got to take care of. As soon as I can, this card and the base Ovi are immediately going onto the market, significantly undercutting what is already out there. Now, this Chelios, I did play with him in a game. I thought he was an untradeable card. That is my bad. I would really like to have this card. I think the card is amazing. And it's the highest overall Chelios that you can currently get in the game because it's impossible, just based on how the game works in terms of the time component. You cannot have opened up enough daily packs to have the eventual 92 Legend Chelios that we're all eventually going to get, and that I'm going to get maybe in like January or February if I even bother to continue logging in. Got a minute left, but point is that card's going to be for sale as well. Let's just check out here real quick if we got anything else. We got a base Proby Ghost I've been talking about. I've been doing the net presence synergy a fair amount, so I mean having an 82 on the wing sort of helps with that. Krejci, I guess, was a duplicate, so I guess that's why he went into that into the thing so quickly. But yeah, so a lot of 81s. So if you don't find a lot of value in these 12 cards, I'm not gonna be offended. But I mean, look at these top 4. At least I would go all the way down to Ghost for sure. If you're not gonna say that that Andre's worth a look, and if you don't really care about the base Proby, who it's hard for me to undercut the value in the marketplace on that one, and I'm over an hour. What the fuck? So here you go. It's Legend Diego. We already showed this. I'm just going to flip through here real quick. These are the next four that are going to go on the market, and I think they're my best 4 that are available to go on the market. And they'll go very quickly. I'll put everything but the Chelios right away. I might want to play one more game with the Chelios. I don't know. We'll decide. I feel like I have to allow myself to play 2 kind of fake games with a card to see what it's worth. And unfortunately I can't click like here and then go to see what the market is like for that particular card. If it's going for a lot of coins, you see I'm very, very coin poor at this point. I don't know. I might just go ahead and just sell it right away. But either way, point is, certainly I would imagine within an hour, those 3, if not all 4 of those, will be made available. And since there's only 12 here, then fuck it. Like I don't know. I'll drop all these. So here's the full list. I mean, if you don't know the cards and whatever the fuck, man, here you go. Here's that. None of them are bad. It might not be good enough to make your squad if your squad is any good. But that's all of them, right? You Beast and Bruiser with Prober. How can you go wrong? So all 12 of those, I guess, we'll just drop at once because you can do up to 25, and we'll get rid of all of the tradable cards that are currently still left in the in the collection. So just pointing out the fact that I don't have a lot of those. I was playing with Ovi and with Diego to kind of try him out. I played 1 game with Chelios. I played 2 games with Diego, and then apparently I might have decided to have a drink or two and play a bunch of games with Ovi. I don't really know why. But those are the 12 cards. They're going on the market immediately. If you're on the PlayStation side, feel free to decide which one you want and go into the market and grab it before anybody else does. I feel like I only have to put them up for an hour, and they will sell because they're so cheap. However, just to make sure that they're available, for the longest period for anybody to be able to get, and I don't put ranges, it's just going to be a specific price, and it's going to be a significantly lower price. It's the low price guarantee is what I call it in the communities. It's going to be super fucking cheap. So, either pick which one you're looking for or get in there and grab Ovi and then decide that you want Ghost as well. It's not that hard to be able to do that, to go in there and nab both of those immediately. It'd be a lot easier if if you're able to like kind of search by my seller name or whatever, but based on the way the auction market works, it seems like you're gonna have to put in the specifics on these cards, or maybe know their general prices. But the thing is, like, if you put in, looking for an 86 to 87 overall base card that is 80K plus, you might not get my card because it'll probably be less than that. So do what you got to do to be able to get these if you want them. They'll be up soon. With that, I'm gonna say peace out. Have a good one. Better win than me, at least, I hope. But hey, base Ovi from a single reroll pull. Can't be mad at that.